police tape. Chris skimmed the text, absorbing most of the facts at first reading. Anne's little dog had been found on the pathway, strangled, its lead wrapped tightly around its neck. There had been no sign of its owner. Ted secretly relished the chance to be so close to Dr. Christine Radcliffe. Her perfume was subtle, understated, but he caught a hint of it as she leaned in to read. She placed one hand on his shoulder. He could feel the warmth of it through his shirt, and he willed himself to continue breathing normally. Chris's hair, neatly swept into a French twist, gleamed dull gold. She was lightly tanned, deepening her rather sallow skin tone to a healthy glow. She wore a discreet amount of makeup, just enough to flatter her best features, her expressive violet-blue eyes and her full, sensuous mouth. A light dusting of blusher accentuated her high, delicate cheekbones. Frances Lowe was standing in the kitchen area of the common room. She turned away to the sink and dragged a paper towel from the holder. Dousing it in water, she patted carefully at her face. "It's so bloody hot," she muttered. Ted glanced at her, then back to Chris Radcliffe, whose grip on her newspaper had tightened. "Whatever is the matter?" Frances demanded. "The social worker," Jo said, her eyes wide. "Chris knows her." "Knew her," Chris corrected, still reading. "Professionally. We worked together for a while." "The one who's been snatched?" Fran asked, adding with a little shiver of pleasure. "How awful." Jo frowned disapproval at the receptionist. "What? I said it was awful, didn't I?" "That's not the point. Anyway, she's missing," Jo said. "It's only the papers saying she's been snatched." Fran raised her eyebrows. "Well, it wasn't her who strangled her dog, was it? And if she got away, where is she?" "You really can be insensitive at times, Fran," Jo said. Fran gave her a pert look and clicked over to the coffee table on her high-heeled sandals, clasping a glass of water in one sweaty palm and a damp paper towel in the other. She placed the glass carefully on the tabletop and dabbed at her forehead with the paper towel. It lifted her fringe from her eyes, giving her a tousled, girlish look. Her fat pink cheeks dimpled in childish delight. "Well, go on then. Tell us all about her." Jo exchanged a look with Ted and rolled her eyes. "You're the absolute limit, Frances. Don't try to tell us you're not interested." She held Jo's stare, looking into the speech therapist's grey eyes and daring her to deny it. "There's nothing to tell," Chris said with deflating finality. "It must be 10 years since I last saw her. We worked on some cases together. I only really saw her in review meetings." Fran pouted. "Well, if that's all, what's the point in telling us you knew her?" Chris didn't answer, and Ted gave Fran a hard look that said leave it, but the receptionist lifted her chin in defiance. "That's the second," she remarked. "Yes," said Chris, apparently deep in thought. "The second." "There was the mother of 2, just up the road," Fran said, with fake concern. "Snatched on her way home from an aerobics class. Horrible, isn't it? To think, it could be any of us." Ted eyed Fran, doubtful that she had attended an aerobics class in her life. "Hardly likely. I mean, going by the headline. Unless you've worked for the council in the past." Fran's face was blank for a second, then her fleshy lips formed a perfect O, and making no effort to suppress her excitement, "Oh, you think it's to do with that children's home thing?" Her eyes widened with malicious delight. "Didn't you work for the council when that lot happened, Chris?" Jo hissed at Fran, then turned to Ted for support, but he didn't respond. Reading the pain and anxiety etched on Chris's face, he stood and moved close to her, keeping his voice low so that the others wouldn't hear. "Are you all right? Do you need to talk about this?" "I'm not a..."